Hi and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be talking about a topic that I'm really interested in today, which is all about nursing, studying nursing in the UK. As you know, nursing is a very special course because it is a profession that the UK is really short-staffed. They are desperate for nurses. That's why they do a lot of overseas recruitment. And so consequently, there are so many advantages if you choose to study nursing in the UK. There's a lot of support from the government for those people that choose to study nursing in this country. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the financial assistance that is available currently for student nurses in the UK, which means if you decide now that you want to get into nursing, what financial support can you have? Because look, the truth is that many people that get into nursing are mature students, which means that they've probably had a career already, they've got kids, they've got a family. It's more of a second career or maybe a third career. The average age for a student nurse in the UK is late 40s and 50s. So please, if you're watching this video, I don't want to see any question in the comment section saying, Melvis, I'm 40 years old, what's the age limit? There is no age limit. Do not limit yourself from these opportunities. So what is the financial assistance that is available? That's what I'm going to be covering in today's video. Especially if you're currently in the UK, you 100% want to make sure that you're aware and you're not looking for limitations not to study, not to progress in your career. You don't want to get stuck in the same position. So if you're new to my channel, obviously, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your time. And look, you don't want to be a stranger here. Take this opportunity to hit that subscribe button so that you're the first to be notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. And look, if you're new and you're not aware, I do have a free newsletter where I send information about career progression opportunities in the UK. I live and breathe career progression. The only reason I moved to the UK was because of career progression. And this is why many of us moved to this beautiful country. You know, as somebody who I started my own journey working as a carer in a nursing home to then studying nursing in the UK as an international student. And then I've progressed beautifully to the most senior clinical nursing position. So I work for the NHS right now as an advanced nurse practitioner. I absolutely love career progression. So my free newsletter, I send information directly to your inbox about free visa sponsorship opportunities in the UK so that you're not getting bankrupt, you're not getting in debt, you're not borrowing money, you're not selling all of your property, in order to get visa sponsorship. I give you guidelines with how to secure free visa sponsorship opportunities to switch from within the UK or to move to the UK, as well as high paying work from home opportunities that you can do, without even needing to leave from where you are. But most importantly, I also share information about side business ideas because look, I'm on a mission to retire before I'm 40 years old. So that if I'm working at the age of 40, it should be because it is a choice, not because I have to, worse still, because I'm broke. So if you're watching this video again and you're already in your 40s, in your 50s, look, this is time for you to act. It's not time for you to be sitting around and thinking, oh my God, can I not? There is no time. So if you want to check the comment section below, you're going to see a link to my free newsletter. Once you join, then I send that information directly to your inbox and it's really easy to join. All you need to do is click on that link, drop your name and email, and you are part of that newsletter so that you're never reliant on the YouTube algorithm and you get the perfect information that is going to make your life in this beautiful country or moving to the UK such a great pleasure. So let's get started. As I've said, nursing is a very special course. It's not like the other courses. Not only is it the fact that nursing is the only course similar to medicine that guarantees 100% employability, which means that whether you're an international student or you're a home student, you are guaranteed a job upon successful completion of your nursing course. So when you're choosing courses to study in the UK, you want to be very smart because look, many of us are not learning anything. We're watching video after video. We're still doing all sorts of courses. At the end of the day, we don't get any job. We're still unemployed. We're still working in domiciliary care, working in nursing homes, looking for agency jobs, despite paying huge amounts of money to study in the UK. Look, it is a kick in the teeth. This has to end. If you're watching my videos, you need to be very smart on the choices that you're making in this country. It's not about getting to the UK, but it is what you do with yourself in this country that is going to make it worthwhile for you or the worst decision ever. So let's get started with the opportunities that are available. And there are two things you need to know. When it comes to financial assistance for student nurses, there are two aspects to it. So there's the learning support fund. So the learning fund basically is anything that they give you is completely free. You never have to pay it back. And then on the other hand, there is student finance, England. Anything that student finance gives you, you need to pay it back. So that's kind of how, you get to know which pathway you should go for, or which sort of support you should apply for, or which kind of support you would be eligible for. So obviously we're talking about people that are self-funding to study nursing. If you're self-funding, then this is the pathway. I have also done a video on here sharing 3 amazing pathways that you can use where you're going to be paid to study nursing in the UK. And yes, you're going to be paid about £25,000 per year for the pleasure of becoming a nurse. So your employer will pay for your tuition fees and everything. But if you're watching this and you're wondering who I am, my name is Melvis. I currently work as an advanced nurse practitioner for the NHS. I started my journey here in this beautiful country as a carer in the nursing home. And then I was very keen on career progression. I thought, look, with all due respect for my job as a carer, I don't want to remain a carer for the rest of my life. I was in my 20s. I was like, hell no, I've got to progress, because I did domiciliary care. I did all sorts of jobs. The pay was really bad. And I said to myself, I can't carry on with this. So I decided to study nursing. And within 5 years, I was working as an advanced nurse practitioner. I've done a master's in mentorship in nursing, and I'm currently concluding my 3rd year Master of Science in Advanced Clinical Practice. And look, this has been in my short time as a nurse, but I've gone to the top of the nursing ladder. And that's because of the hard work, the perseverance, the push, and the motivation that I've had through this journey. So I have a private career coaching program where I support nurses, carers, students, student nurses, prospective student nurses, anybody that is a student in the UK or looking for free UK visa sponsorship job. I can support you with career progression in the UK. What do you need to progress? If you want to get into nursing, what is the best pathway for you to use? If you want to get into the NHS, how do you proceed? What are the interviews like? How do you apply for jobs? What is the personal statement like? What are you expected to know? If you are a nurse back home and you're currently working as a carer in the UK, what is a pathway that you can use to get back into nursing? Because look, there's nothing worse than coming from home, you're a senior nurse or a nurse lecturer, whatever you are, and then you end up doing domiciliary care in the UK. You're going out driving for 12, 15, 20 hours per day, and you're being paid for 3 miserable hours. Look, you want to be progressing. You want to be taking your progression in your hands. And so if you're interested, you want to check the about section of this YouTube channel or the description box below. You're going to see a link to my private coaching program. Once you join, then we can get started with all of that to make sure that you excel, you thrive, you live your beautiful life in this country. You get that tailored, individualized, and personalized guidance that you rightfully so deserve. And so, like we were saying, the learning support fund, everything they give you, you have to pay. It is completely free for, and I don't know if I said this, but all students in the UK, everybody that decides to study nursing, you all get £5,000 per year, which means, as a home student, obviously, that's what this pathway is for. Whether you choose mental health nursing, or you choose adult nursing, or you choose, peds, or you choose learning disabilities, every single student nurse is going to get £5,000 every single year. So everyone gets this irrespective of your personal circumstances. Obviously, home students, again, like I have said. So, and by the way, if you like this content, I want you to hit that like button. It lets me know that you enjoy content like this, and obviously I should do more. Also, share this video with your colleagues, loved ones, so that they're aware of what these opportunities are. They're aware of what else is out there, so that they're not stuck in jobs that they don't want, in positions that they don't enjoy, not knowing that there is something else in this country. Because there are lots of opportunities in the UK, but the truth is, it is not easy to have that motivation, to have the drive, to have the courage and the time, most importantly, to go out and pursue that. So, with the learning support fund, every single student nurse gets £5,000 per year. And if you choose to study a branch of nursing that is really difficult to recruit within that area where you're studying, you're going to get an extra £1,000. What do I mean? If you're studying mental health in a place that is really like remote and people barely apply for mental health, just an example, you would get an extra 1,000. Also, there's what they call the hardship fund. The hardship fund, if you're found to be eligible for the hardship fund, you're going to get £3,000 per year. So as you can see, the money keeps on adding, and the more personal circumstances you have that are hindering your ability to study nursing, the more money you're going to have. And again, this is from the Learning Support Fund, and all of this is what you don't have to pay back. So everything from Learning Support Fund is completely free. You never have to pay it back. So there's also like transportation, which means that as a student nurse in the UK, obviously you do have to do placement. So it's like work, on the job training kind of thing. So if you're going for your placement and your placement is further from your home than the university, you can also claim back on all the travel expenses. This includes like traveling, transportation costs, even food. The only thing is that you need to spend the money before you can claim it, which means that you're not able to request the money back before you spend. So you have to spend the money first and then you can claim it back. But you can claim all of that money if you're a student nurse in the UK. And this is from the Learning Support Fund. And when you look at student finance, so student finance is able to cover your full tuition fees. And I must say something about student finance. Student finance is considered as public funds, which means if you're in the UK and you're not allowed to have public funds for whatever reason, then you will not be eligible for student finance, because student finance is considered as public funds. And mind you, career progression, if you're funded by your employer to study, it is not considered public funds, because career progression is part of your career, it's part of enhancing your skills and your role so they can take on more responsibilities and be able to do more. So that is not considered as public funds, but student finance is considered public funds. So if you're not eligible for public funds in the UK, you will not be eligible for this. And I want you to leave a comment and say, Melvis, I will implement. Also, if you've got any questions as I'm going along, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you have something that is really personal, you're like, oh my goodness, Melvis, I don't want to put this out on YouTube, you can use my newsletter or my contacts on there. Contact me directly and I'll be able to get through to you on my day off from work, because unfortunately right now, guys, I still have a day job. Doing these YouTube videos, it's not my job, really. It's just something that I do as a hobby, you know what I mean? So I have a job. So if you send me a message and I don't reply the same day, I don't want to see messages kicking off saying, Melvis, you haven't replied to my message. Like I say, it's not my job. Thank you very much. So basically, student finance, they're going to cover all of your tuition fees, you know what I mean? And they're also going to give you a maintenance loan. So a maintenance loan is going to be means tested, which means that, let's say, for example, if you're female and you want to study nursing and you're married and your husband has a really highly paid job, you're going to have less in terms of how much you get, because it's means tested. But for example, let's say if you are living alone, you've got kids, you haven't got any partner, you've got no financial assistance, you're going to get a lot more from student finance, because again, it is means tested. Also, if you're a young person, let's say you're 20 years old and you want to study nursing, if you live with your parents, it's also means tested, which means if you're 20 years old, you live with your mom and dad, and your mom and dad are both working, you're going to get less, because you're still living with your parents and your parents' income is going to be considered. So if you're 20 years old and you don't want your parents' income to be considered, you need to be living out of the house. You need to have your own place before you're being assessed. In that case, they'll consider only your personal circumstances. But if you live with your parents, then they'll consider your parents' income, and so you're going to get very little money. Talking about this, I've got some people in my private coaching program that are currently going through these pathways. I've got one person that is eligible to have 20,000 per year, and another person that is only having like £3,000. So as you can see, it really varies significantly depending on where you live, your personal circumstances, who you live with, how are they related to you, and all of that. So again, there's quite a lot of financial assistance available. These are just some that, I can tell you now, but there's a lot more that you can have to study nursing in the UK, because obviously the government's agenda right now is that they're going to encourage more people to get into nursing. And if you need that tailored, individualized guidance in order for you to decide which nursing course is best for you, how do you proceed, how do you make sure that you're successful, I can support with that through my private coaching program. Also, if you're looking for the apprenticeship pathways that are fully funded, I can also support with that, where you're able to do on-the-job training, qualify as a nurse, being paid 25,000 per year, and you don't have to pay any tuition fees. I've done that video on here. Do make sure that you check it out. And please, if you've got any questions, like I say, there are so many other advantages that I haven't covered in today's video, but you do want to make sure that you check them out. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Again, these are the opportunities that are there. You've got to take those opportunities. That's the whole point, moving to the UK, or living in this country. So you want to check out all other videos that I've done on this channel, and you 100% want to check out this video that I did about how to study nursing in the UK without paying any tuition fees. And in fact, with this video, you're going to be paid £25,000 per year to study nursing. You want to check it out, and do get in touch with me if you need any queries. Thank you.